top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. President Ali's joke on a cash grant disrespectful to struggling Guyanese. AZRUDDIN Mohamed, Speaker yet to convene meeting for election of opposition leader. Norton accuses PPPC of shielding key figure in expanding luxury car racket. PPP uses corruption as a sword of Damocles. Norton. Guyana renews call for urgent reform of UN Security Council. And in sport, Silver Bullets crown the champions of the third edition of the EXXONMOBIL Guyana FUTSAL Championship. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Monday, 1st December 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. This is what you should know this evening. President Irfaan Ali's joke on a cash grant is disrespectful to struggling Guyanese, says leader of the We Invest in Nationhood Party, AZRUDDIN Mohamed. Travis Chase has more on that story.
You definitely don't know the people of Guyana. I may need to say cash grant.
Leader of the We Invest in Nationhood Party, AZRUDDIN Mohamed, has blasted President Irfaan Ali for what he described as a disrespectful and insensitive joke about the long-promised Christmas cash grant, accusing the head of state of treating the economic hardship of ordinary Guyanese as entertainment.
It was so degrading and cruel. It showed a complete disregard for the Guyanese people, where more than 50% of them live in poverty.
President Ali, while delivering remarks at an oil and gas event last week, made what he claimed was a light-hearted comment about the upcoming cash grant. But with less than a month remaining before Christmas and no confirmed date for the distribution, Mohamed said there is nothing humorous about the situation facing thousands of Guyanese who are anxiously awaiting clarity.
President Irfaan, the people never asked for this Christmas cash grant. You are the one who lied to them about a cash grant and tricked them into voting for the PPP.
In a stern statement, Mohamed said the president's intended joke has landed as an insult to families who are scraping to make ends meet.
Sharing resource wealth with citizens is standard practice in resource-rich nations. The PPP doesn't want people to know this. They prefer to keep the people down. Instead, they try to make it seem as if Guyanese are begging for handouts.
He argued that at a time when cost of living pressures remain high and wages continue to lag behind inflation, Guyanese were depending heavily on whatever financial relief the government promised.
This is a moment to remind President Irfaan and the nation that Guyanese, all Guyanese, deserve to be treated with dignity. Respect is not for the rich alone. Power belongs to the people, and no one can mock their suffering without consequences.
President Ali had previously announced that the cash grant would be delivered by Christmas, but has repeatedly avoided giving a clear timeline. Mohamed said the continued vagueness is adding anxiety to already stretched households. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, calls continue to mount for the constitutional office of the opposition leader to be filled. The Speaker of the House is yet to convene a meeting of opposition members of Parliament to conclude that process. Marvin Cato reports.
Well, the APNU has not changed its position, which is that it's a constitutional office and it should be filled.
That was Ganesh Maipal, who has added his voice to the call for the swearing-in of the new leader of the opposition.
The way of filling it requires the Speaker to call a meeting of the non-governmental MPs.
Parliamentarians were sworn in since November 3rd, and the Speaker is yet to convene the meeting of the opposition parliamentarians to elect the leader of the opposition, a constitutional office.
He is to preside in the presence of the clerk and conduct an election that can take less than 5 minutes, less than 10 minutes, because it is by show of hands.
On Sunday on a radio program, Amanzo Walton Desir, leader of the Forward Guyana movement, amplified calls for the swearing-in of the opposition leader, since she believes it is critically important, particularly during this time when Guyana's political allegiance is being tested.
How are we to be taken seriously when we have a parliament that will deliberately not meet to appoint a leader of the opposition?
Recently, there has been protest by supporters and members of the We Invest in Nationhood WIN party for the swearing-in of the leader of the opposition. That party has also written to the Speaker of the House on several occasions on the issue, but to date, there has been no response. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
There is a pattern where major scandals involving persons connected to the ruling administration are ignored, dismissed, or buried until those individuals fall out of favor with the government. So says leader of the People's National Congress Reform, Aubrey Norton, as he referenced the widening luxury car racketing involving a well-known Guyanese car dealer with intricate connections.
Leader of the People's National Congress Reform, Aubrey Norton, has unleashed a blistering critique of the People's Progressive Party civic government, accusing it of deliberately shielding a prominent Guyanese car dealer at the center of a widening luxury car racket that has already left several unsuspecting citizens scammed.
I am not aware that the government has begun an investigation, and I don't expect them to. The people you are talking about are people that are close to the PPP.
Norton said the dealer, whom he described as politically protected and seemingly untouchable, has been allowed to operate with impunity for years because of his proximity to senior government figures. According to Norton, the long-running VIN tampering and duty evasion scheme, which investigators say spans multiple jurisdictions, could never have flourished without the full knowledge and the silent blessing of powerful people.
Now, once these that are involved continue to be close to and supportive of the PPP will have no interest in investigating to get to the bottom of the problem and to solve the problem. They have no interest in that.
As Operation Project Myra continues to uncover new evidence of widespread VIN tampering, falsified import documents, downgraded luxury vehicles, and alleged multi-billion-dollar tax evasion, Norton maintains that the PPPC's silence is not accidental, it is strategic. Citing the extradition saga involving AZRUDDIN Mohammed, Norton says the PPPC only becomes aggressive when their associates step out of line.
I am of the view that the PPP thrives on having people around them who are corrupt so that they can use the corruption as swords of Damocles to keep them in line. And the problem only comes when they step out the line, a la Mohammed.
The PNCR leader accused the government of turning corruption into a tool of control. Norton said the scandal is too large, too entrenched, and too politically contaminated to be investigated by local authorities. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Join us after the break. We have more news for you.
I'm sorry. I couldn't take any more of your gaslighting. Just go. I got burned too many times. I went to Quartz and found myself a new flame.
Say goodbye to your old appliances and hello to new ones from Quartz, bringing Christmas home.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Krishna Rao Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC, Manripo, East Coast, Marara, or call 220-9624-629-4021 or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Welcome back. You're with the HGP Nightly News. Chairman of a Partnership for National Unity, Aubrey Norton, has rapped GECOM's chairperson, Justice Retired Claudette Singh, for allegedly exceeding her legal authority by selectively removing the 3 opposition-nominated commissioners from their positions on the commission. He dubbed these actions as politically motivated. Antonio Day has more.
Aubrey Norton, Chairman of the Partnership for National Unity, has roasted Justice Retired Claudette Singh, Chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, for exceeding her legal authority by selectively removing commissioners Vincent Alexander, Desmond Trotman, and Charles Corbin. In response to questions posed by Nightly News regarding the constitutionality of GECOM Chair's action, Mr. Norton, leader of the People's National Congress Reform, expressed disappointment at Singh's actions. The former opposition leader noted that given her legal background, the retired Justice of Appeal should have acted in accordance with the law.
There's a system put in place over the years in which the election commissioners were appointed permanent. In fact, it was described at the inception of the discussion as a situation where you needed a permanent commission.
Norton reminded reporters that matters such as these are procedural.
Let's assume that with the coming of a new opposition leader, changes should be made. Let's make that assumption. Then it should follow logically that not only the commissioner should go, but the chairman.
The PNCR leader reasoned that if Singh's argument is that the incoming opposition leader, AZRUDDIN MOHAMED, has to be given the opportunity to name incoming commissioners, then the same process must be applied to the election of a GECOM chair. Vincent Alexander had told Nightly News that he found it unprofessional for the GECOM chair to make such unilateral decisions without convening a statutory meeting. According to Alexander, Justice Singh in her defense noted that her reliance and interpretation of Article 161(3)(b) of the Constitution, which notes the 3 members to be appointed by the President, acting in accordance with the advice of the Leader of the Opposition, tendered after meaningful consultation with the non-governmental political parties represented in the National Assembly. Alexander confirmed that as it stands now, himself and other opposition commissioners remain active at GECOM. Antonio Lee reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The McKenzie swimming pool in Linden has been totally destroyed, and Regional and Parliamentary Representative Sharma Solomon is seeking answers from the ministry responsible. Marvin Cato is on that story.
Instructed the clerk several times to engage the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture for a cease and desist, for us to first understand what is happening with this pool.
That was Region 10's Member of Parliament Sharma Solomon highlighting that McKenzie swimming pool, once a proud symbol of Linden's swimming culture and a training ground for many of Guyana's notable swimmers, is now left in ruins.
As an asset of the council, what becomes of the public swimming pool today? They have not gotten those answers.
Solomon reminded that nearly 2 years ago, access to this community-owned facility was obstructed without any engagement with its lawful owner, the Linden municipality.
This council, this APNU movement, is not against development. We are not anti-development. What we are for is proper development. And proper development comes with a proper plan.
He is now calling on the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport to say where it intends to construct a new swimming pool and how the facility will be managed.
To date, as we see this obstruction and destruction, all of the materials and resources that belong to the pool, including the pump, have now been left to wonder where they are. Those are assets that belong to you, the people of this town.
Solomon is calling for all the assets to be preserved and not be given away, since they are the property of the town. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Guyana continues to advocate for meaningful reforms at the United Nations, particularly within its most powerful decision-making body, the Security Council. Tiana Cole has the details.
Guyana's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Caroline Rodriguez-Burkett, during a recent interview on Starting Point, said that significant reform is needed at the United Nations Security Council, UNSC.
To reform the Security Council and make it more representative and more democratic. You have a Security Council where the entire African continent and Latin America and the Caribbean are not represented in the permanent category. For Africa, it's actually a historical injustice, and that should be fixed.
She noted that if the veto cannot be abolished, then there should at least be a higher threshold that prevents it from being used so easily.
We went onto the council knowing that it is the most undemocratic body of the United Nations because it comprises 15 members, 5 that are permanent, and each one of those 5, they have a veto. That's the United States, China, Russia, the United Kingdom, and France. The other 10 are elected every 2 years.
She added that certain geographical groups are overrepresented, and this imbalance must also be addressed.
We need to reform the Security Council, but also in terms of how it makes decisions. You should not have, there's no other organization, international organization, where one country can kill a decision.
Rodriguez-Burkett highlighted that Guyana's tenure at the UNSC has been defined by a strong and vocal defense of the UN Charter upholding territorial integrity, sovereignty, and the protection of human rights.
We were elected, as you will recall, we had 191 of 192 votes. So we received the highest number of votes at that election in 2023.
Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned, we have more news for you.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and we're celebrating with big savings on smartphones, starting as low as $16,500 for the Samsung A06 and $26,500 for the Samsung A16 and $40,500 for the A26. But wait, there's more. Get 1 month free data with your new phone to keep you close to loved ones near and far. Offer available while stocks last. Visit a Digicel store today and unwrap the gift of real connections. Digicel.
I'm sorry, I couldn't take any more of your gaslighting. Just go. I got burned too many times. I went to Quartz and found myself a new flame.
Say goodbye to your old appliances and hello to new ones from Quartz, bringing Christmas home.
Thanks for staying with us as we continue. Antonio Day tells us that Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Priya Manichan has emphasized that she has no authority to break the deadlock in the ongoing Region 10 chairmanship saga. Here is more.
The minister no longer has a role to determine who's going to become the chairman if you have a tie. There is a process, and that process has to be engaged.
That was Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Priya Manichan during a radio interview with veteran journalist and radio personality Gordon Mosley. Region 10 currently does not have an elected chairman due to the ongoing political stalemate following the October 2025 Regional Democratic Council elections. The internal RDC election for the chairperson position held in October 2025 ended in a 9-9 tie between candidates Mark Goring of the We Invest in Nationhood Party and Dominic Blair of a Partnership for National Unity, APNU. Under Section 20 of the Local Democratic Organs Act, amended by the Local Authorities Elections Amendment Act of 2018, tied candidates in the first vote must undergo a second vote. If a tie occurs again, a third vote is held. Should the third vote also end in a tie, the clerk must record each councillor's vote. According to Minister Manichan, she hopes the legally prescribed process is followed to end the deadlock.
So I hope that they do that shortly.
But somebody's going to be in charge of the process. There's
a clerk, and the clerk would have to be in charge of that process.
Meanwhile, Mark Goring of WIN said that he's still awaiting an update regarding this matter.
Yeah, so we're still awaiting for Region 10 meeting. We conclude. We scheduled to conclude the process of the election because it already started. It means that it has to go 2 more rounds.
The law further notes that after recording each councillor's vote, the clerk calculates the numeric seat value for councillors elected through proportional representation. The results are assigned to the candidates voted for, and the candidate with the highest tally is declared duly elected as chairman by the clerk. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Guyana is preparing to host a major regional health event next year as the Caribbean Public Health Agency brings its 70th Annual Health Research Conference to Georgetown. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Guyana will host the 70th Annual Health Research Conference of the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPA, in April 2026, with the event expected to highlight regional achievements and chart the future for health innovations across the Caribbean. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said during the recent launch that Guyana is pleased to welcome the conference, which will be held under the theme Health and Innovations.
I also believe in the future and where health is going and new things that are emerging. We thought that this conference would help to showcase some of those things.
Dr. Anthony noted that the focus is to blend traditional approaches with emerging technologies as countries adapt to rapidly evolving health needs.
And we believe that sharing that type of experience will help countries in the region to learn from what we're doing here, and perhaps if they have such challenges in their countries, to be able to use some of the techniques that we've used here.
He said Guyana continues to pioneer work in digital health, including the implementation of the digital health records. By the time of the conference, the country is expected to be well underway with rolling out these systems at its main hospital.
We have one of the most extensive telemedicine networks, not just in the Caribbean, but I'm told it's one of the most extensive in the world.
Meanwhile, CARPA's Executive Director, Dr. Lisa Indar, described the upcoming conference as a historic milestone for the region and commended Guyana's leadership.
This is more than just a conference, it's a legacy. A momentous event set to take place in Guyana in April, and aptly so, as Guyana has demonstrated exemplary leadership in nations in health, which makes Guyana the perfect home for a conference focused on innovation.
Dr. Indar reflected on the region's progress since the first conference.
When the first conference was held in 1956, our region faced overwhelming public health challenges, limited resources, and emerging threats that demonstrated that demanded collaboration. Yet, the Caribbean researchers persevered.
She added that the 2026 conference will showcase key advancements across the region, including Guyana's malaria technologies and ongoing health surveillance reforms. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The Guyana Police Force says an investigation has since been launched into a gun-toting rank in Regional Division Number 1. Viewer discretion is advised.
The Commission of Police has immediately ordered a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding an incident captured on video showing a rank behaving in a disorderly manner using a firearm. A video posted by the We Invest in Nationhood Win Party on its Facebook page showed the rank wielding an AK-47 and behaving disorderly. The force informed that the rank featured in the video has since been placed under close arrest, and the Office of Professional Responsibility has been instructed to commence a detailed investigation into the matter immediately. The GPF, in a statement late Sunday, assured the public that this matter is being treated with the utmost seriousness. The force also indicated that the contents of the video form part of the ongoing investigation will determine the full extent of both disciplinary and criminal actions to be taken. The Guyana Police Force reminded that it remains committed to maintaining the highest standards of professionalism and accountability. They have committed to providing further information at the appropriate time as the investigation progresses. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Christmas runs on real connections with Digicel. The cause, the laughter, the joy, and the chance to pick and win big. We're giving away $12 million. Yes, every week, one lucky Digicel customer gets a chance to win up to $2 million. 6 lucky winners in total. Here's how you get in. Top up with $1,000 or more, or pay your fiber or postpaid bill in full. The more you top up, the more chances you get. Stay connected this Christmas for your chance to win big. Digicel.
Fruta full of island. Say hello to your new favorite sip, Fruta Mango Passion. This tropical combo of mango and passion fruit delivers a bold flavor and wholesome goodness. It's fruity, it's vibrant, and it fits right into your day. Grab your Mango Passion can today and live fruitfully. Nice. Fruta.
Survival Supermarket appreciates you, and our 17th Customer Appreciation Day sale is set for December 2nd, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Shop at Survival and get a 10% discount throughout the supermarket, except alcohol and tobacco products. Yes, it's in time for the holiday season with a big 10% discount from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Survival. The Customer Appreciation Day sale, December 2nd, Survival Supermarket, Sheriff Street and Vlasinjan Road.
Good evening and welcome to Monday's edition of the Regional News. A tense phone call last week between the White House and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro offered the embattled leader one final deal: resign immediately, leave Venezuela with his wife and son, and receive safe passage, or face the full force of expanding U.S. campaign targeting what Washington has labeled a narco-terrorist regime. According to U.S. media reports, the call, reportedly brokered by Brazil, Qatar, and Turkey, collapsed almost instantly. Maduro demanded global amnesty, control of the armed forces, and time to negotiate an exit, conditions Washington rejected outright. Days later, President Donald Trump stunned the region by declaring Venezuela airspace, quote-unquote, closed in its entirety, warning airlines, drug traffickers, and human smugglers that the order required immediate attention. In Venezuela, the statement was widely interpreted as a signal that land operations could begin imminently. For Trinidad and Tobago, just 7 miles from Venezuela's coast, as its closest point, the prospect of U.S. military action on Venezuelan soil has triggered deep concern among national security officials. Washington has revived the long-standing allegations that Venezuela's top leadership runs the Cartel de los Soles, described by U.S. officials as a state-embedded drug trafficking network. Last week, the U.S. firmly designated the cartel as a foreign terrorist organization, placing Maduro, Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello, and Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez in the same legal category as Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says there is no need for citizens to be on the edge over the radar system installed by the United States military in Tobago, as the system will make both the sister island and Trinidad safer. Persad-Bissessar reiterated that Trinidad and Tobago was not a United States base for any attacks on Venezuela, noting that the military the U.S. already has in the region, including the U.S. Navy's USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier, is more than sufficient. The U.S. owns thousands of satellites. They own the GPS system. They have almost 20% of their Navy in the Caribbean, with the most sophisticated military communications technology in existence. They don't need to put a radar in our country to use for any military purpose. They could monitor the entire Caribbean from the Gerald Ford aircraft carrier. Sensible people understand these facts, she said. Last Tuesday, the Prime Minister met with General Dan Kane, Chairman of the United States Joint Chiefs of Staff, in Port of Spain. He is the highest-ranking military officer and the principal military advisor to the U.S. President Donald Trump. She said the meeting focused on tackling narco-trafficking and regional security, not Venezuela. Former Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs Marlene Malahu Fort, now a government backbencher, last Tuesday, urged Parliament to consider restoring the offense of criminal libel, a provision repealed some 13 years ago. Citing rising incidents of online bullying, harassment, stalking, and defamatory attacks, she questioned whether reinstating criminal penalties might be necessary in this age of unregulated social media. Press Association of Jamaica President Darshan Hendricks countered that the modern legislative framework, which the PAJ and the Media Association Jamaica strongly advocated for, deliberately removed colonial-era criminal sanctions in favor of civil remedies. Reintroducing criminal penalties, he warned, would chill investigative journalism, weaken public accountability, and risk turning regulators into censors, ultimately undermining Jamaica's democratic principles. He noted that Jamaica already has robust tools to address online misconduct. The Cybercrimes Act provides severe penalties, including imprisonment of up to 15 years, for malicious communications and related offenses, without criminalizing free expression. At the same time, Media Association Jamaica Chairman Gary Allen also pushed back against the suggestion, calling it a retrograde step. Parliament abolished criminal defamation in 2013, with both the Senate and the House giving unanimous approval to the Defamation Act. The law replaced the 19th Century Libel and Slander Act and the 1963 Defamation Act, repealed the criminal libel and shortened the limitation period for bringing actions from 6 years to 2. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
Let's now join Delwyn Neblet for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwyn Neblet with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Monday, December 1st, 2025. We begin tonight with basketball. Jamaica defeated Guyana 19-14 in the final preliminary round clash of the FIBA 3-on-3 AmeriCup in Leon, Mexico. The defeat ended Guyana's participation at the premier 3-on-3 tournament in the Americas. Both Jamaica 21-7 and Guyana 17-15 defeated St. Lucia, setting up a must-win game between the land of wood and water and the land of many waters. However, Jamaica capitalized on Guyana being in foul trouble to advance to the main draw. Following Team Guyana's exit, GBF Vice President Royal Tony mentioned via social media post, and I quote, "Personally, considering the circumstances the team went through to get to Mexico, I'm very proud of their performance." Close quote. Guyana was represented by Harold Adams, Nikolai Smith, Travis Belgrave, and Travis Burnett. Guyana have competed at every 3-on-3 AmeriCup event since the tournament's inception, except 2023 in Puerto Rico, making us one of the most consistent teams from the Caribbean at the most important 3-on-3 event in our region. Moving into football action, concluded in the third edition of the EXXONMOBIL Guyana FUTSAL Championship with 2 fixtures at the Retrieve Hard Court in Linden on Saturday. In the third place playoff, the Hard Knocks defeated DC Ballers 9-8 on the back of hat-tricks from both Dexter Milo and Kimani Field. Kendorf Lewis netted twice, and CC Norville also scored once in a winning effort. Andre Mears scored a whopping 6 goals in a losing effort, as Antoine Gill and Nicholas Gentle also scored once for the fourth place finishers. In the grand finale, Silver Bullets prevailed against defending champions YMCAA, winning 2-0 on penalties after a 5-5 scoreline at the full-time whistle. Omari Williams scored twice in regulation and scored the decisive penalty for Silver Bullets, as Rodencio Tudor, Colwyn Drakes, and Sigmund Kobina also scored 1 goal each in regulation. For YMCA, both Kishan Day and Kevin Gittins netted doubles, while Kimani Seeley scored once in a losing effort. The Silver Bullets claimed the top prize of $1.5 million, while runners-up YMCA walked away with $750,000. Third place Hard Knocks secured $350,000, as fourth place DC Ballers received $250,000. Silver Bullets goalkeeper received the MVP prize of a brand new motorcycle. Moving into squash, Guyana won the men's title, but Barbados captured the overall championship after an exceptionally close finish to the 2025 ENET Senior Caribbean Squash Championships at the National Racket Center in Georgetown. The two countries split the major divisions, with Guyana taking the men's team crown and the women's veterans crown, while Barbados secured the women's team title and the men's veteran division. With both nations deadlocked, officials were forced to apply a tiebreaker based on overall match and point margins, allowing Barbados to claim the title. The men's final was a dramatic contest that went down to the deciding match, where Guyana emerged victorious to secure the men's title. The women's final followed a similar pattern of intensity, but Barbados prevailed through strong performances at the top of their lineup, leaving Guyana as runners-up despite competitive showings across all categories. Moving into cricket, action commenced over the weekend in the 2025 Guyana Cricket Board Women's Senior Inter-County Tournament, with 2 rounds of matches on the east coast of Demerara. Featuring in their first match in the tournament's history at the Lusignan Sports Club ground on Friday, the Hinterland All-Stars, led by Kelsey Couchman, suffered a heavy 8-wicket victory to an experienced and quite formidable Babi side led by West Indies player Shanita Grimmond. Batting first, the debutantes were bowled out for just 34, as only Melina Peters with 16 from 22 offered much resistance with the bat. Lafiana Millington produced a magical hat-trick and finished with 3 for 5, as both Daniela Mans and the captain Grimmond picked up 2 wickets. When Babis responded, they reached 34 for 2 in just 5.3 overs on the back of 13 from Jada Fraser, as Tiffany LaRose fought hard to pick up 2 for 10 in a losing effort. In Lusignan on Saturday, Essequibo pulled off an exciting run chase to defeat Demerara by 1 wicket in a nail-biting finish. Batting first, Demerara were bowled out for 77 in 32 overs. Naomi Barcoy top scored with 12, as Sienna Barcoy and Letitia Jordan added 11. Sienna Retimaya was the quickest bowler on show, picking up 3 for 11, as all-rounder Shawnette Belgrave picked up 2 for 12. When Essequibo responded, Belgrave along with Yonette Welcome would remain unbeaten, as they featured in a crucial 14-run 10-wicket partnership to propel their side to 78 for 9 in 23 overs. Letitia Jordan was the pick of the bowlers for Demerara, taking 4 for 25, as player of the match Tremaine Marks top scored with 26, and the experienced Kumari Prasad added 13 in a winning effort. On Sunday at the LBI Community Center ground, Babi secured another commanding 7-wicket victory against Essequibo. Batting first, Essequibo were bowled out for 70 in 21 overs, as the captain Lorene Williams top scored with 14 and Kumari Prasad added 11. Player of the match Sharika Campbell picked up 4 for 17, as Daniel Mans picked up 3 for 15 in a winning effort. When Babis responded, they reached 71 for 3 on the back of a tournament high 38 from 41 from the captain Shanita Grimmond. Also on Sunday at the Lusignan Sports Club ground, Demerara picked up their first win in the tournament, securing a 3-wicket victory in a keenly contested match against the Hinterland All-Stars. Batting first, Hinterland were bowled out for 105 in 28 overs, as 17-year-old Sarah Beard top scored with a resilient 34 from 76, and Fiona Benjamin remained unbeaten on 15. Letitia Jordan picked up 4 for 39, while the captain Casey Schultz picked up the tournament's first 5-wicket haul, finishing with magnificent figures of 5 for 16. When Demerara responded, Benjamin returned to pick up 3 for 30, and Griselle Thomas picked up 2 for 14, as they reached 106 for 7 in 30.2 overs. Naomi Barcoy top scored with a stylish 20, as Tilia Madramutu added 16 in a winning effort. 2025 Women's Senior Inter-County action continues tomorrow, with Demerara taking on Babis at the LBI Community Center ground, and the Hinterland All-Stars versus Essequibo at the Lusignan Sports Club ground. And finally, in cricket, Guyana Harpy Eagles' CG United Super 50 Cup campaign came to an end on Thursday with yet another no result, this time against the Barbados Pride at the Sir Frank Worrell Memorial Ground in St. Augustine, Trinidad. Throughout their 5 matches, the Harpy Eagles were significantly affected by persistent bad weather in the Twin Island Republic, leading to 4 no results. 3 of those encounters were abandoned without a ball being bowled, while the other saw only 1 innings completed before conditions forced the match to be called off. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwyn Nevlet reminding you to stay in the game.
President Ali's joke on a cash grant disrespectful to struggling Guyanese, AZRUDDIN Mohammed. Speaker yet to convene meeting for election of opposition leader. Norton accuses PPPC of shielding key figure in expanding luxury car racket. PPP uses corruption as a sword of Damocles. Norton. Guyana renews call for urgent reform of UN Security Council. And in sport, Silver Bullets crown the champions of the 3rd edition of the EXXONMOBIL Guyana FUTSAL Championship. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.